So this is going to be my second try trying to film this aspect of this new series I want to do, the Battle of the Boattails. But I just saw this 7mm Mauser. So this is PPU brass. If you ever order any PPU brass, this is the container, I guess I'll call it, that's going to come in. So it's just kind of and if you order bulk nozzler brass, it's going to come in a similar container actually. So I'm not trying to specifically knock PPU, but sometimes when you pay for cheap components, this is kind of what you get. And of course, we see the side effect. Where is it? Ah, here we go. This case head right here. Look at that ding. Wow. And there's a couple more actually that are like that as well. Where are they? Oh, this one to the left, right there. So that's another reason why we want to full length resize and all the other fun stuff when doing brass prep, but more on that. So from this bag of 50, I grabbed 10. I figure that's a pretty healthy representative, and we're going to use this Case Master to take a look at it. But also, yeah. Um, so for the Battle of the Boattails, the first one I'm going to look at is PPU bullets. And oddly enough, look at the packaging it comes in. So now we can only knock this so much because, I mean, if you buy kind of your standard, one second, let me grab this other box. I mean, a plastic box will help protect the bullets, but I mean, if they get dropped, I mean, they're still subject to hitting one another. So it's not too much of a step up. But, you know, when we get to nozzler bullets, but also this is the first time I've ever ordered Barnes bullets. And I've already covered this in a previous video, but that was just kind of an afterthought. This is something I specifically want to talk about. I mean, these are bulk packaged too, but all that extra space is taken up by some padding. And Nozzler, if you ever order Nozzler bullets, they put a very thin sort of padding all the way around the bullets. It's actually kind of nice. So you pay that premium with Nozzler bullets, and you may not get the performance you want out of the Nozzler bullets, but the extra cost does go to other things that can be a little bit nice. Anyway, uh, those are the Barnes bullets. Those we're probably going to try next. Whoops. I'll go ahead and drop the brass. So what we're going to do now is we're going to switch camera angles, and we're going to do some measuring on that Case Master of these cases. Okay, so before we get on to the Case Master, we are actually going to measure the overall length of each cartridge. We're going to see how well they did straight from the factory. And this is the one with the ding in it, right here. So, first off, so that's 228, looks like. There we go. Creaky chairs, creaky. Oh, 2225. So, calling it half thousands is kind of suspect, but whatever. We'll just go with it. This is the other one with the dinged mouth. Come on, focus. I think that's just going to be the best it's going to focus. Anyway, dinged mouth. 226. So slightly above the minimum trim length. 223. Two two six, Come on, square. 224. 225. 22. It looks like 4.5, but we'll say 225. We'll be nice. Because again, like this is not your top of line micrometer, and pretty much for any micrometer, anything within a thousandth is I don't want to say fair game, but that's really the type of accuracy you can expect. Come on. Okay, this one, 223. And this last one, come on, 223. So the overall length, kind of across the board, about a 5/1000ths spread. But that's going to change. That's another reason why you want to full length size. Make sure everything is proper dimensions. So now we're going to grab the case master, and we're going to check the concentricity of the case necks, just for funsies, really. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit awkward for me, but I have it set up so the camera is more or less focused on the dial. And I'm not going to zero it per se, but we're just going to pay attention to the difference between the 2 points. Like, so for example, right now the dial, it looks to be on 79. So let's see how far it swings. So from, it goes all the way up to almost 82 to just below 74. So basically that's 6 plus 2. So that is 8/1000ths that this is off in terms of its alignment with the case head. So whether how much of that is the case thickness versus the actual concentricity of the case neck, we don't currently know. But that's what this other portion of the case master is for. So 8/1000ths. Wow. So that's, if I remember right, that is pretty much the point where you need to kind of go, whoa, what's going on with my concentricity? What's going on with my runout? But we haven't resized the brass yet. So again, let's see. So this one goes to 73 to almost 83. So that's almost a full 100th. So 10/1000ths. Wow. And neither of those two, you know what, actually? Let's do the ones with the dings. This one, you can see, this is not the most egregious one either. So let's do that. So we're starting at, let's see, it goes up to just above 82 to 73 again. So that's 9/1000ths. You know, actually, I just went to the extremes. I didn't do a full rotation. Let's see what a full rotation does. Because, yeah, it seems to be consistent with 9/1000ths. I feel a little bit less guilty. Boom, this is the major dent. Now, I set it so the dial's right below. So kind of the middle of the case neck. That's kind of what you're supposed to do anyway. But let's see how this one looks. So again, it goes to 82. And then it quickly swings briefly up to 73, that looked like. Yeah, 73. So that's 9/1000ths again. But you can see it pauses there, dips back down, and then goes all the way to 82 again. So, yeah. And I have a feeling that that is going to be the trend. So 81 to 73.5. So that's definitely, it's not as bad. Still definitely over 5/1000ths. As a general rule, I personally, anything under 5/1000ths is okay. Anything under 2 thousandths is phenomenal. Hey, so look at this one. 75 to 79, so 4 thousandths. Not bad. And as a general rule, anything under 3 thousandths you can consider precision. But that's just kind of a very loose, I don't want to say guideline, I don't want to say benchmark either. There are people that they're not happy if they have, unless they have under less than 1 thousandths. There are people that don't pay attention to concentricity at all, and they seem to do just fine. It's all what you're most comfortable with, really. A little above 82 to a little over 72. So we'll go ahead and just say 10 thousandths. So 73 to a little, yeah, again, roughly 9 thousandths. Around 74 to a little above 80, so we'll say that's 5 thousandths. Yikes. 73 to about 82, 9 thousandths. So, wow. The most accurate, or rather, the most in line was 4 thousandths, but we didn't go above a full hundredth, so yikes. We'll see how my full-length sizing die does, but first what we're going to do is we've taken a look at the concentricity, but we want to take a look at the consistency of the thickness of the case neck. So that's going to be the next little portion. Give me 1 second while I get set up though. Okay, so this is a little bit awkward to set up, but this is basically how the case neck gauge works. You just set it right there, and then you kind of just measure the difference, and it seems to have settled pretty well on that 41. It's actually a little bit off, but we're going to go from here. So let's see here, and just to double check. So it went from the 41 all the way to 56, roughly. So 56 from 41, that's like 15 thousandths, right? Okay. So we're rotated about a sixth. 56, 56, 57, 57, 57, 56, almost 57, 57. So you can see, oh, a little above 57. And I'll just keep doing that. And it'll settle slightly. So that's actually only about a change of about 1 thousandths. That's pretty good. I've had Nosler brass, just for comparison, that's been over 2 thousandths, I believe. So 1 thousandths, that's pretty good. However, that is part of the reason why people neck turn, right? Is because I have one side with more brass, it's going to have more tension than the side with less, right? Even if it is concentric and there's no run out. That's just the nature of materials. Because the forces acting on them, it's going to require different force for the side with more brass than with less. Anyway, second piece of brass. Now, this does have a ding in it, a very slight ding, so we can only do so much. So let's see, 56 again, though. 56, 56, 56, a little above, almost 57. Now that is 57, And I'm going to see if I can replicate that. For a brief moment, it looked like it was above 57 by just a small amount, but I can't tell. Let's find that little, here we go. Let's find where that little deformation is. And it is where, oh, it says 56. Then it goes to 57. So I can feel, and maybe you can hear it. Yeah. Where that deformation is, where it suddenly slams down. So that's probably affecting the reading, but I'm seeing roughly about 1/1000. So again, that's not bad. Like, that's nothing terrible. I'm probably not going to bother neck turning these. Not only because it might not be worth it, but we have yet to full-length size these. Because just by the simple act of forming your simple act of reforming your brass, you're smoothing things out. And it seems to be that this is the same story here. And you can see I'm kind of oh, let's go back. Yeah, 57, 55. So this one has a total difference of 0.02, which is still, it's not terrible. I'm sure there's somebody online there being like, oh my God, how can you not say that's outrageous? It's fine. Okay. Oh, and our 0 did change, or did it? No, it says a little bit around 40 to 41. So you don't really need to worry about taking that into account. So either way, roughly 0.02. So that's worse than the other two, but that's still serviceable. $57, $56, $55. There's another little rough spot. $57. I don't really see too much in terms of ding, but I'm seeing it went up to 58. But it feels like it's hanging up on something, so maybe my eyes deceive me. Because that went all the way up to about, it's 57.5. Almost 58 maybe? Can you hear that clicking? Yeah, there's definitely some sort of thing going on. So yeah, it's consistently, this is about 0.03 because I'm seeing consistently about 55 to, hang on, that's still good. 55 to 58. $56. Almost 57 maybe. This isn't bad, so yeah, about 1/1000 again. $57, $56, $55, $57. So about 0.02. This is the one with the big ding. This is going to be Wretched and awful, but whatever, we're doing it. This is the ding coming up where sweet baby Jesus, so that's not even a real measurement, but you can see there 57, 56, and then come up with the unreal measurement again, sweet baby Jesus. It's about the same. So other than that ding, it's about 1 or 2 thousandths. And let's see here. This one looks a little bit more out of whack because I'm seeing a little bit above 55 to 57. $55 for sure. Oh wait, what happened here? Almost 58. Definitely 58. So about 3 thousandths. Oh, but there is a little bit of a ding there. So we'll still say 3 thousandths. That's fine. $55 to almost 57. Not bad. About 2 thousandths. Yeah, that's about... Oh, wait. Let's go back a little bit. A little above 57. To about 55-ish. You know what? We'll be nice, and we'll call that one about 2 thousandths. So, if I remember right, for like legit ones, we had one that was 4 thousandths. Usually, it's around 2 thousandths, though. That's actually not bad for straight from the factory. So, let's see. The concentricity of the necks. Did we want to do the concentricity of the body? You know, just for funsies, sure. This is the one with the big ding in it. So, let's see if that affected anything else. Oh, come on. Not really. You can see it kind of goes up there, but still we're about at that thousandth range. That's fine. Yeah, nothing special to see here. They're all doing roughly about a thousandth. So that's a little bit of a waste of time, but whatever. We got to see how that part works. So now basically all we have to do is lube these up, resize them, and we'll see how that works. Okay, so I'm about to reform my brass. Let's talk a little bit. One moment. I'm going to be using my RCBS, and yes, I am wearing gloves. I'm going to be using my red... Whoa, Jesus, wrong side. What the hell? Where is it? Oh, on the cap. Dirt. And it's upside down. I just can't win today. Here you go. This is for what I use for my necks. I follow kind of like what Redding says on their website, where I have the Imperial die wax on the body, and then I'm going to grab these, dip them in the thing. Very technical terminology, but only for the necks, and then I'm going to resize them. And I'm going to use my full-length sizing die by RCBS. And you'll see I have I'm trying out Lee's lock rings here, but I have Lyman's. Uh, you can use this on RCBS dies, but it's their free floating expander ball. And it's just a generic 4 or 7 millimeter. They got some extra travel if you're going to be using something like a Magnum or something, so you can adjust it. And it's just it's very similar to the Forester bench rest seating die, where you have the it's a little bit higher up, and there's a little bit of give to it, so it can move. Anyway, so we're going to be using that. Let's get to it. What I'm going to be doing is grabbing a case, dipping it into the dry neck lube, just getting some of the excess off, and then this is where the video is going to get a little bit rocky. There we go. And then I'm going to wipe them off. Voila. Easy peasy. Now you'll notice that the neck now looks a lot smoother, whereas before, fresh from the bag, they looked very grainy. So when I'm done with all this, I'm anxious to see how they measure out. And there's really not going to be much to report here. It's going to be boring. So I'll continue filming, but I'll edit out any of the not fun parts. Ooh, a little bit crunchy. Come on. Oh. Yeah, that didn't turn out so well now, did it? Okay, so that's one piece of brass down. See, now the reason why that probably happened is because the expander ball in this thing is really more of a ball. It's not elliptical in shape. I wonder if I had used a Lee die or an RCBS die, the original expander ball. 1 second, let me show you. There we go. Something like that would have been a little bit more gentle, because the expander ball for the Lyman is, like I said, more of an actual sphere. So it's probably a little bit more harsh. Anyway. So, okay, we just finished full-length sizing these. For funsies, I mean, let's see if they grew any. So there, that one, 225. 225. Because we had a couple that were, there we go, 227. Wait. 228. I'm an idiot. Come on. 226. So they grew perhaps a little bit. 225. 228. 228, 229, 227, 226, 225, and then some. 226, 228, 228, 226, 22, almost 6. So most of this brass has grown a little bit. Not too much, but none of them are below the minimum trim. So what we can do now is we can trim them to the 225, and that should be great. But let's actually check their neck concentricity, but we're only going to worry about the neck. This is more just for fun. Okay, so this is a little bit of an awkward angle, but let's check the concentricity of the necks. So basically from 47 to 49, I'm seeing. So about 2 thousandths. That's pretty good. A little under 47. So about 3 thousandths. It's a little bit upsetting, but whatever. Come on. So from 48 to a little over 49. So, we'll say 2 thousandths again. We'll round up. We'll be mean. This one, 47.5 to about 49.5. About the general theme. About 2 thousandths. So for something, whoa. What's going on here? Okay, so from, so this one's definitely off. So you're seeing one of the downsides of having your traditional expander ball. So even though it's made of tungsten carbide with a high degree of lubricity, and that one 3 thousandths. Okay, wow, and that one was, that looks like a thousandths to me. So overall what we're seeing is we have approximately roughly about 2 thousandths run out. We are seeing some that are definitely measuring above. However, the highest one was like 6.5 thousandths. That is, now here's the thing, I'm not too worried about that because when we were measuring our case neck thickness, right there, that's that little apparatus there, the biggest difference is roughly 4 thousandths, right? So if we're running an average of about 2 thousandths run out, we add that additional 4, we have about 6 thousandths, 6.5 thousandths. That's well within the margin of error, or rather that little half thousandths there is well within the margin of error for a micrometer. So pretty much everything went perfectly fine here. There's nothing mechanically wrong, nothing egregious. We're doing fine. And we already measured the length of these, so we do need to trim them up slightly if we want them to be perfectly uniform. But this is going to be the process that I do for every single workup. We're on the very end of our case prep. Well, actually. And we're taking off very small amounts, but it's working beautifully. God, it scares me doing that. But I still just wanted to show roughly how the operation of this thing works. I still don't have it bolted down to my desk, but seems to work fine regardless. Keep thinking I hear, like you can't hear it with this microphone. There we go. I don't really hear it anymore. But you do not need to turn much at all for that. Lock it in. Give it a crank. 1, 2, and there. I don't feel any resistance with that. Okay. Last case. Took a little bit off. Yeah. And that's, well, you can't really see it with the focus. See a little bit of brassing down there. So just need to grab our chamfer tool, which is also, you can tell how old it is. It has a little bit of a, well, it certainly has a little tiny bit of rust, but it's more of a patina on it. Thing's probably as old as I am. And just be gentle with it. Okay, so I'm going to finish prepping the rest of my brass, prime it up, then we'll start throwing charges. There we go, 38.3. Right on the dot. So now we can move on to seating the bullets. And I'm going to use my Forster Ultra micrometer here, but I have a feeling this might end as a train wreck. Now I remember with my Norma brass, there was way too much neck tension, and that caused issues. That caused a ring around the bullet, right about there, where the seating stem touched the bullet. And a little bit of a ring isn't too bad, but in some cases it was actually deforming the bullet. Right now I have this with the micrometer seating die. I have it pretty much all the way out. We're going to take it out, seat a bullet, let's see how well that looks. Okay. And you can see there's a minor, maybe you can't because I have the manual focus on, that's right. It's a very minor ring, but it's very superficial. There's nothing wrong there. Let's see. That's not all the way down. What is the overall length though? Place that there. Because we're allowed up to 3.065. According to this is 1.26. Rather, I should say 3.126. So we basically need to drop this down by 50, about 60. Let's try that. Just to see how it goes. Let's compare again. Excellent. One thing I kind of like to do, and what I'm going to be doing as the standard, is I'm going to be the very base of the boat tail. I'm going to try to have the end reach the case neck, and it looks like look at that. Perfect, right on the money. 3.065. And now the logic here, I have 5 here. These are going to be only for fouling up the barrel and also to be used as ciders. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to finish seating these. I'll keep the camera rolling, but I'll probably edit out most of them. Unless something super fun happens. That felt a little bit different. Ah. See? Felt a little bit different because it was a little bit different. Look at that. 0.268 just above. So this one probably had more neck tension. So it didn't seat quite far in. This is why some of the people pay attention to neck tension. It goes to show that even if you have, I don't want to say high-end equipment, but you know, I paid almost as much for this die as I did for the actual rifle. But that was in the good old days when Mauser was very cheap. See, that one too felt a little bit different. And you can see that one's even further out. That's almost 3.069. Um, One thing I also noticed is right there on the side of the bullet, hopefully you can see it in the camera, it looks like it got not quite scraped, but like something brushed up against it. And that's something I don't really see on the other bullets. This one has a tiny bit, maybe like a little scuff right there. So I wonder what that is all about. Comparator time, 3.532. And I'll go ahead and I'll measure. I'm not going to do the full batch, but 3.534, 3.532. Yeah, because this one's 3.536. But if this seeded out about 3 thousandths longer, that makes sense. But either way, it's a little bit longer. But this one is also a little bit too tight. Come on. Yeah. 3.53. We'll go ahead and call that 5, even though it's a little bit under. Just for funsies, let's do another 5. I was only going to do 5, but let's do more. Because I was hoping for a good bit of consistency. 3.533, a little over, but close enough. 3.535. So we're kind of all over the place. We currently have like what, a 4 thousandths difference. That's outside the realm of precision. That's like almost right in between the 2 and the 3, so 3.53, 2.5, we'll go ahead and say. And 3.536. You know, I made that excuse for that one earlier, like, oh, wasn't this one like seated further out? But it's actually pretty close to. Oh, here's definitely another outlier. 3.537. So for ogive for ogive measurements, PPU is not showing too good. Well, the only thing we have left is to get out to the range and actually see how well these things do. See you guys there.